Hello friends, I hope you're well wherever you are in this right now. I want to share something around what's happening with the time continuum and our energy and plasma bodies. So I'm Jane. What I'm about to share, I keep seeing as a transmission, so I'm like, I need to share it. And if after I share this, if you're like, yeah, that resonates, I'd like some one-on-one support or guidance through this, because what? Reach out. I have some space for a couple one-on-one clients right now. So I just climbed up a really lovely hill here, and it's just divine. It's a divine day. So what's going on with this time-space continuum, yo? Well, let me tell you from my perspective. So as more people are ascending their consciousness, more people are being aware that love is all that is, and are willing to do the work, the healing work. They're on a spiritual path. Their consciousness is ascending. They're actually vibrating at a higher resonant frequency. Like humanity's baseline frequency is steadily amplifying. It's increasing in magnitude, which is super dope, I think. It's also a hellacious process. Talking about some like dark nights of the soul, failures, feeling like you're the black sheep, like, the frustration, the anger, the aloneness, the fears, the judgments. Oh, it's so full, isn't it? God, what a robust experience. And people are just getting brave, and they're like, man, I saw how it was in my lineage, and I see how it's playing out in the collective, and I don't want to perpetuate that. So people on their healing path. So because of that, the physiological shifts that occur is, well, first of all, we start to heal. We start to reduce dis-eases, mental dis-ease, emotional dis-ease, physiological dis-ease. So that could look like shrinking tumors. It could look like your gums aren't receding anymore. You could have cysts that are just gone. I'm speaking about my own body and the healing journey that it's been on through my own ascension and spiritual path. And so as we do this, so when our physical body changes, it too will emanate out another frequency. So like our energy body is going to emanate out a whole other frequency and vibration, because we're living, say, in like peace or kindness or whatever. And then our body will emit a different frequency. Our voices emit a different sound wave. Like the way we see the world, it's a different vibrational pattern that emanates out of our central part of our brain, the plasma waves that go out and create this holographic reality that bounces back off and lets our eyeballs see and be like, oh, look, that's a tree, or that's a car, or like whatever our brain identifies it as. So our bodies are changing. So if we look at our body in parts, we look at our body as like the physical, right? We look at our body as the bones. We look at our body as the blood. But the important part of our body that's really doing a big shift is our plasma body. The plasma body is what holds, it's like an etheric energy. It's like plasma. It's like if light and sound had a baby and had like webbing to travel through, to send information and data through. It can crystallize and get hard. It can be fluid, and energy can move through the plasma body, the fascia. So as our fascia heals, whether we're getting myofascial release sessions, we're sitting with our nervous system, we're healing our nervous system, like we're moving differently through space and time, our fascia will then emit a different frequency, and it's already highly electric in its nature, in the way the data moves through this part of our body. So keeping in mind the fascia and how it's changing, the plasma body is changing, and as we're ascending our consciousness, what's ultimately happening is that people are becoming aware that we're living in a concurrent series of nows. It's all now. It's all now. I won't go into like past lives and future lives and all that, because that's a whole other topic. However, when we remember that we're in all nows forever now, then we start to break through what we would consider the fourth dimension, which is the concept, if you will, of space and time. When we transcend the concept of space and time, we live in more of a fifth dimensional consciousness, a more Christed consciousness, a more unified consciousness that is loving and kind. And so, put that back together with the plasma body, because it's plasma. And here's the thing, I can be doing it, you can be doing it, the collective can be doing it, but we're all doing it in our own ways. We're all doing it in our own timelines. So like something that could take me 5 years to do could take you 5 minutes to do, and vice versa with something totally different. So what that's doing is it's playing out as a sensation for many of us, which is what I want to talk about, because it's creating a sensation that time is just getting weird. It feels very gelatinous right now. So before, it was feeling, for me and many others, compartmentalized. It would be like, okay, I have one long day. And then it became like, oh my God, I had like 15 days today. Whoa, like how did I do all of that today? How did I have all these vastly different experiences? Oh my gosh, and like multiple days in one 24-hour period. Well, now what's feeling to be true is that the retrospective perspective of the day that I've just lived in the description of time, it feels gelatinous. It feels like a congealed mass of my day. And it could be the same exact type of day that I've had previously, but the way it's being sensed and felt by me is like there's not a hard stop, like this was this day in a day, and this was second day in a day, and this was third day in a day. No, it's just like this is one day, and what this one day will have, though, are the same like beginnings and endings, except it feels more like expansion and contraction. Almost like if you have Jello, how, when you shake a jar of Jello, it has its own wiggle to it, right? Well, the wiggle, when it goes one way, has a part of it that has to expand and a part of it that has to contract. And that's what gives it that solid and fluid kind of mobility. We, as humans, are experiencing that type of solid and liquid at the same time, mobility through what we call our day. So that a day can be like, I don't even know, like I know what happened, but do I really? And like, it feels like a dream, but my dreams feel more real. And I know I'm living the dream, but then also what is the dream? And so our daily thoughts are a lot more esoteric and mystical, at least mine are. I mean, they have been for many moons, and still they're just like deepening in this realm of the here and now, which is not anywhere remotely, only here and now. And so I can be holding concurrent realities in this gelatinous Jello time thing. For example, I could be having a grand day, great day USA, and then I have this piece of hair that just pops out like that because it didn't get back in my barrette when I barretted my hair after laying down. That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is, so like, say I'm having a really good day, and then, true story, I get news of a family member dying. And, there's that moment of like, oh, damn, and at the same time, I feel like, yay, this person's no longer suffering because they were in a lot of discomfort during the last timeline of their experience. And, and then later I'm feeling a little blah. And then I get a wave of like celebration that this family member is like in the space of like heaven, or whatever you want to call it. Like that'll be the word I use. Like, and I know that we can create heaven on earth. Like it's actually here, and the heaven is also within us. It's all true. And so I'm like feeling this like exuberance and like celebration for this woman's life, that she is in the kingdom of heaven, that she's experiencing it on whatever level her soul has decided. And so I'm experiencing all these things, and then I get into an argument with a family member, and then I have this really nice phone call with a dear sister, and it's like this emotional roller coaster. And then my body's moving through its own experiences, whether it's a nervous system activation or hunger or, oh God, I gotta poop. Like whatever the case is that my body is experiencing. And then I have the thoughts all around it, which are, like whatever the thoughts are, who knows what all the thoughts are. But that's that one jello of the I am that we're being expressed as. And because the collective consciousness is shifting so much, the way we're going to continue experiencing time, at least for a while, is going to be almost in that dream-like state where it's like, I look over here and it's war and pestilence and suffering, and I look over here and it's children dancing and playing and having a good old time, and I look right here and I'm like, I'm just sitting on a hill. And it's all happening at once. So I see it being reflected as our plasma bodies are upgrading. And this plasma body upgrade is what some people refer to as a light body activation, because the plasma is an electric system that emanates and moves light in it, and it binds through everything in our physical body. And because it's the light emittance, it's a lighter, not just like light dark, but like lighter weight frequency. It emanates out in a bigger field beyond the borders of our flesh, so that the higher we vibrate in this realm of consciousness, and that our plasma body starts to hone itself and regulate itself to holding these higher energies of like love, like legit, it's just like unconditional love, joy, presence. Like then we start to emanate out even more, and that's when people can start to say even more so, like, oh, I see your auric field, and I see your energy. And when we look at the teachings of Christ, it was what was referenced as his Ka body. It's our light body, and we've seen that in other deep meditation places, deep meditators, meditation gurus, Buddhas. like they're emitting this light, and not all can see it. But if you're in the zone, like you can see it, you can feel it. There's a presence to it, because there's this holy quality to it. And it doesn't mean that the person's perfect. It means that whatever they're facing, that they're still facing it full on with love. And that heals the body, it heals the mind, it heals the spirit, it heals our presence, it heals the world, it heals each other, it heals our family, it heals through timelines, it heals the genetic coding, it changes and heals our DNA. Our the codon rings literally shift. And then we hold and emit even more light, and it turns into this cycle. And once we get into this like really big ebb and flow, then we don't feel it so much as the ebb and flow of like end, complete, okay, start over. It feels more like they all kind of blur into each other, and that's the gelatinous jello timeline that many of us are experiencing. And this is the why I see it happening. And so it's like, well, what do you do with this? What if you're not experiencing this? What if you're still experiencing your day as being really disjointed? You don't know what I'm talking about. You feel like you get these days where it's a big flow day and it feels so good, and you're like, yeah, and then something knocks you out, and you notice that your recovery time is way longer than you really want it to be, because your mind is like, I need to be over this shit by now. Or you're not tapped into your physical body, so you don't even recognize the beauty of the messenger that this vessel is, to even be able to tune into parts of your system like the fascia, or like your nervous system, or like your heart, or like your inner child, or your inner king, or your inner dom, your inner sub, or like whatever, like we get the body to be able to sense all this in and to use it as literally a bridge. It's what connects us to the heavens and the earth. Because, I mean, our consciousness it's never ending. It's always connected to the heavens and the earth, because the consciousness of the earth is very, very intertwined with our consciousness. The energy of Great Spirit, the consciousness of Great Spirit, also intertwined, because we are like a drop from that ocean. And so it's like, but this body is the one thing that is unique for me compared to you. And the way I sense things and the way you sense things are going to be so very different. And meanwhile, the whole collective like gamut of humanity is going through a singular shift that is composed of a bajillion little shifts. And that's what makes time feel weird. So we're just in the sacred jello, y'all. That's what we're in. We're in the sacred jello of it all. So my intention with this was to share a perspective of a vision that I keep seeing, a conversation that I keep having and sharing, and I'm like, let me just share it even more. So if this was of service or it's resonating for you, share it with others. Reach out to me for a one-on-one session. Join the Eternal Now community for like super low, and I share in there like meditations and transmissions and like quick downloads of what's coming through for like collective ascension support. And I offer a lot of other things on there, so check it out. All of that is below. Share this video. Apparently that helps things. And above all else, like no matter what you're experiencing, how you're experiencing it, how you're feeling it, how hard of a time you may be having, or how easy of a time you might be having, or however life is presenting itself to you, my reminder is that you're loved, because you are love. So take care of yourself and take care of each other, and enjoy the jello of it all. And until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.